welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome to El Clasico, where Barca, despite a fantastic turnout at the Camp Nou, have ultimately fallen short once again. We did score a goal. It was surprising, I've got to say, but we did. It was Aguero who got his first Barca goal there at the death of the game, but Real Madrid there, scoring twice through David Alaba and Lucas Vazquez, gives Real Madrid a big win. And yet more questions there towards this Barca team and Ronald Koeman. All the analysis coming up, because for me, the second half was much more infuriating than the first. Let's discuss. Because indeed, guys, today's big match review is coming to you courtesy of the One Football app, where in the United Kingdom this season you can catch all of the highlights in La Liga, and of course along with all the latest news, the scores and the updates to keep you informed. But what we learned today is that Barca were not able to get that elusive Clasico victory over Real. This right here was Ronald Koeman's starting lineup. Ter Stegen in goal. It was Mingueza at right back, Piqué and Garcia, with Jordi Alba, of course, playing with those pain-killing injections. Gavi, Busquets and De Jong in midfield. Dest as the right winger, Ansu Fati down the middle, and mostly Memphis Depay there on the left-hand side. And I've got to say, it wasn't a bad lineup from Koeman. I think when it came out and before the game, we were all sort of okay with that team there, but I think very, very early on, I think all of our fears were almost realised because of the damage that Vinicius was doing. Down that left-hand side there, often he was left 1v1 against Oscar Mingueza. Even when Dest was coming back to help out, he was still finding a way through and causing problems. And there was a big penalty shout from Real Madrid. Vinicius there, beating several of our players, working his way into the box. In the end, I think, to be honest, he threw himself to the ground way, way too easily. The referee saw that, didn't give the penalty, but that was exactly what he was showing. That was what he was doing in that first half, threatening Barca, getting in behind, and certainly on the counter, Real Madrid, we knew they'd be dangerous. However, it was what happened next that ultimately decided this game one way or the other, because it was on 25 minutes there. Memphis Depay was played in almost on the counter-attack there, given a lot of space on the left-hand side. He does really, really well there, shoulder to shoulder with Militao. He shrugs him off. Good strength from him. He then plays the ball into Ansu, who then lets it go on to Serginho Dest, who is in acres of room right in front of goal. This was the opportunity, and he blazes it over. It is a massive chance. It is the chance to take the lead in a Clasico. And you imagine what that would have done for the whole game. You would have had the crowd behind you. You would have had some confidence, some momentum. We know that Dest isn't a right winger. We can't expect him to be doing things that other attackers can do. But that's a chance that he can score. He knows that. It was a moment of panic from him. And in the end, these Clásicos, they do come down to these very, very finer details. And that was a big turning point in the game. Because just a matter of minutes later, it was Memphis there who loses it on the edge of Real Madrid's box, which of course isn't ideal. But when you lose a ball on the edge of your opponent's box, you shouldn't then go and concede a goal. You shouldn't be carved open like we were by Real Madrid, because then the ball is played into Vinicius. Mingueza doesn't deal with the danger. I was screaming at the TV here, make a foul. Because as soon as Memphis lost that ball, you could see we had a problem. You need players in that team to also see that we have a problem and take someone out, take a tactical foul. You see it all the time here with the best teams in the world. They know when to stop counter-attacks at source, but we let it grow. We let Real Madrid switch the play there to Rodrigo. We then let him pick the perfect pass in behind to Alaba, and you've got to say, what a finish that is. Coming across his body there, putting it across Ter Stegen. Absolutely wonderful strike from Alaba. His Clasico debut met there with a goal, but that should have been stopped sooner. We shouldn't have let that move develop as far as it did and as dangerous as it got. This team just can't cope with counter-attacking moves. But yet again, guys, these are such fine margins in games like this. We still had opportunities that on another day, it could have happened. It could have been different for us, because then a corner comes in, met by Gerard Piqué, brilliant glancing header, and it's inches away. We could have got that equaliser. It could have been similar to the way we hit back against Valencia. but it didn't quite fall for us. And at the moment, it seems as though these are chances that are just going the other way. They're not quite falling for us. And in that first half, there were opportunities. It was quite an even game. And even before halftime, brilliant ball over the top from Busquets. Alba lays it back. Ansu Fati there, point blank range, but he can't quite get his shot away. It's blocked there by Real Madrid. They make their way to halftime with the lead. And ultimately, that was the game done. That was their half that they won. And in the second half from Barca, like I say, for me, infuriating. Because at the beginning of the second half, Ronald Koeman makes a very, very early change. Coutinho there on for Oscar Mingueza. He changed the shape of the team there. He played Busquets a little bit deeper alongside De Jong. Coutinho slotting in there behind the two forwards. And of course, Dest there reverting to his right-back role. And I've got to say that Coutinho had a bit of an impact. We did look a little bit more dangerous going forward. There was a few more passes there that we were able to get between the lines. And things looked a little bit better. But never in that second half. Of course, we did go on and score when the game was already over, but there was no plan there. There was no actual strategy as that game went on to break Real Madrid down. There was calls for a handball, Toni Kroos there. The ball does hit his arm. The referee, though, blows up instead for a free kick against De Jong, who he thought pushed Kroos in the first place. Benzema could have had two. He could have actually made it 3-0 to Real Madrid. Modric and Benzema there combining. Volley on goal from Benzema. Should have been a goal. Blocked by Ter Stegen. And again, just with 20 minutes to go, he's actually got the goal gaping there. He backheels it into his own leg. So Benzema was not on it today, and still Real Madrid managed to beat us pretty comfortably. But the problem, like I say, is there was no plan. There was no real way back into this game from Barca, and that comes from the sidelines. As that game went on, all we were doing is getting more and more and more desperate. We were throwing more players forward. We brought on Luke de Jong. Piqué was going forward, and then all it was, cross the ball, hope for the best. Let's look at set pieces. Let's try and get Real Madrid. They've got very, very good players in the air. They've got Courtois, who was just picking everything out of the air without any problem whatsoever. And that is the problem. Yes, we had chances in that first half. The game, I admit, could have gone differently. Had that chance gone in from Dest, had that chance there gone in from Gerard Piqué, it could have been a different game. But what is no accident? What is absolutely no coincidence is that Ronald Koeman still has no win against any big team in his time at Barca. That doesn't happen by accident. We had chances today. We had things that go against us, but you can't make that excuse for every big game. There is a reason why we're not able to change games. There's a reason why there's no real plan and no solution to carve our way through teams. There is absolutely no guidance, no organisation right now from this team. We saw it again in El Clasico, and we'll see it again whilst he remains here. And of course, guys, in the latter stages of the game there, deep into added time, things got a little bit messy. Real Madrid were actually wasting an enormous amount of time. They actually seemed as though they were really scared. They thought that we were going to score, but I could tell them now there was no need to be scared whatsoever. They didn't need to waste the kind of time they did. There was a moment there when Memphis Depay had an opening at 1-0 in the game. You're thinking, shoot, just have a go on goal there, go for it. But that's the problem right now. We're short on confidence. Nobody wanted to take that shot on. Nobody wanted to take on the responsibility. He tries to pull it back there. Piqué thinks that he's been fouled. Nothing comes of that move. What happens then? Same as the first goal. Real Madrid break with pace. We don't stop them. There's no plan. There's no organisation. There's no structure in this team. They carve their way through. And in the end, Lucas Vázquez, he wants it more. He's stronger there getting to the ball than Eric Garcia. Real Madrid have a 2-goal lead in El Clasico before finally, in the final moments of the game, since Aguero came on, he had one good pass that made his way into him, and it was the cross from Dest. It's a good ball, good delivery, good pace on it, and what happens? He scores. Aguero will score if you provide him with crosses like that. Not loop balls in, massive high balls that you're hoping to get up there and nod in. No, we want accurate passes into the box, not just aimless crossing. Good accurate passes like Dest did there. Brilliant finish from Aguero, but of course too little. Too late. Very, very happy for him to get his first Barca goal. First of many, I'm sure. But today again, big question marks. I don't think it's a great surprise that we've lost this match. But ultimately, guys, what's going to change? What's going to give? Decisions have to be made. And like we've said for weeks, It's gotta happen now. Because when you indeed look at the La Liga table, it is not pleasant reading if you're a Barcelona fan. Real Madrid have returned to the summit of La Liga. They are now on 20 points. Barca are 5 points behind them. We're down in 8th place in La Liga after 9 games played. That is simply unacceptable. No matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the times are, that is not an okay position for Barca to be in as a team. And like I say, let's see what happens. Let's see that from here now. A big defeat, a poor display again. All the fans inside the Camp Nou today, they witnessed that and they were not happy with what they were seeing. Please let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What did you make of the performance? What did you think here of the result? Was it a fair one in terms of Real winning by 2-1? Let me know all those views down below. Of course, there's going to be plenty of reaction and plenty more talk following this game. But for now, guys, thank you indeed for watching. Try and enjoy the rest of your weekend, if you can. And I will see you very soon indeed. But until next time, as always, Visca! El Barça!